Hi guys, welcome back to our second episode of Save Johor, Save Malaysia. Today's topic would be why I chose MUDA. So joining us today is Sheryl, Jeevan, Manisha and Melanie. And we have our infamous Toby joining us as well. Okay, so let me start off with Sheryl. Sheryl, you're from MUDA Segambut.
Yes.
And you are also the head of comms for MUDA Segambut, right? So just to ask you, what were your inspirations to join MUDA?
To be fair, I joined MUDA for very personal reasons. Sometime towards the beginning of 2021, I had a friend who lost many family members to COVID, and it was in such a way where those deaths could have been prevented, and she basically lost like 8 family members in a span of 5 days. So I realized that me being upset was not enough. I needed to step up and make a change, and that's why I joined MUDA.
Okay. So what are your aspirations for MUDA?
I would like to see things change because I voted in GE 14, was it?
Yeah.
14. Yeah, so I voted in GE 14 and we won to a certain extent, and then a lot of things, things happened, and that's why I'm back again and hoping, that things will change for the better permanently.
Okay. Thank you. Now, so Jeevan, you're from MUDA Seputeh, and I believe you are the Ketua Parliament for MUDA Seputeh, right?
The last time I
So I'm going to throw the same question to you. What were your inspirations to join MUDA?
Well, to be very frank, I was not expected to be involved in politics. I did not want to be involved in politics because I always thought that there's someone who can do a better job than me. But like what Sheryl mentioned earlier, having voted for the powers to be in G14, only to see that it has been ripped apart, and whatever hopes and aspirations that we had for the country, for some changes, were dashed. So this actually kind of made me realize that if you want change to happen, then the change should come from within you. So if I can contribute in any way to ensure that the needs of the general Malaysian can be preserved in some way, then I should be involved in it. And MUDA was a very timely thing to happen, because for those things that I hold very dear on, cherish and everything, MUDA is actually advocating it. And along the way, they actually have proven that it is not only talk. They have actually, walked the walk and shown to the general Malaysian, general public that, anybody can be the catalyst for change. So I believe that, this is a point that, I should do what is necessary for my family, my community and my country. So, and it is made such an easy process to be part of MUDA. I did not have to be belonging to a political family. I don't have to be someone who's wealthy or having some sort of influence in the community. Me as a general Malaysian, I can actually contribute and be part of it. And this, I feel, is the biggest strength, MUDA has advocated. And, I feel that it is something that everybody should consider. If you can be in a political party, what can you do? And is your help is recognized and accepted by everyone. So MUDA is doing that. So that, for me, is an inspiration. We are not shy to get down to the ground to be dirty to help the people. We are not shy to voice out our concerns and our opinions. And it's democracy all the way. Okay. So this should be the best. This is my best inspiration to join MUDA.
What about your aspirations for MUDA?
Well, my aspiration is in line with my inspiration as well. I feel that each and every one of us should be the voice of change. Each and every one of us should be the reason that this country is something that we are proud to call our own. You see? So, MUDA is, some people tell me that, are you MUDA enough to be in MUDA? So I need to tell people MUDA is not about the age bracket that you're in. It is about the United Alliance towards Democracy for Malaysians. You see, so it can be anybody of any age, of any ethnicity, of any race, of any religion, joining together to be in one focus. And that I feel that it can be achieved. I aspire for each and every Malaysian to be able to see that, you are and will always be the voice of change. So this is my aspiration towards MUDA, to break the barriers, to bring the new age politics into being, and to really show what democracy is all about.
Thank you, Jeevan. So Melanie. So Melanie is from MUDA Shalam. She is also the Women Empowerment Bureau head. So Melanie, same question to you. What inspired you to join MUDA?
Ever since growing up, there's no really a political party to look up to, especially those political parties that are led by older generations, and the younger generations wouldn't even know what is happening with the country. So the reason why I joined MUDA is because they are very vocal and they use social media to talk about all these issues in Malaysia and really educate the youngsters that is not so aware, that now because of MUDA is more aware of what's happening in Malaysia. And so I find it really inspiring that MUDA is not only for older people with a lot of knowledge, but it is for everyone to join in, just for the good cause of Malaysia. Yeah.
Good. Okay. And what about your aspirations for MUDA itself?
My aspirations for MUDA is for this political party to really make a change, because you can see from all the older political parties, they are the same. They are always using the old faces, and so I want MUDA to be able to step up and represent most of the people in Malaysia, not just for the people in the higher power, but also for the minorities.
Okay. Thank you, Melanie. And Manisha, finally to you. So what were your inspirations to join MUDA?
I think it all started with me being very passionate about politics ever since I was young, but never really had a platform that I thought I could resonate myself with. And then MUDA came by, and I was like, okay, sure, why not? There's a platform. What is stopping me right now from actually contributing to the country, the society, and to the people of Malaysia? And that's when I think this would be the right platform for me to actually start to contribute. And what I really enjoy about it, as well as we are very much focused with khidmat masyarakat. So, that's exactly how politics should be. The people come first, right? So that's one of the inspirations that got me into MUDA.
So what would be the ideal aspiration for MUDA from your perspective?
Okay, so I think, as Sheryl mentioned, as all of you guys mentioned, that the last elections, G14, was quite a messy one. It was my first vote, and I really wanted the change for my country. I still remember I was at the Istana screaming my lungs out. I mean, my parents were so against it, but I was just there on the roads, honking with the flag and screaming like, oh yeah, we won. But what happened after that? Everything just went down the drains. So that really hit me hard. Of course, many people have come and said, oh no, change can't be made. But I think
I honestly think and I honestly feel that we as MUDA can make the change for a better future for the generations to come.
Okay. Thank you, Manisha. So while we are on that topic, okay, like what Jeevan mentioned earlier, I'd just like to touch on that particular subject. So I'm sure you all are from different parliaments. I'm sure you would have come across this. The name MUDA doesn't signify young, okay? But most of the time, that's what people tell to us.
Yeah.
That, oh, I'm not that age to join.
Yeah.
Okay? Can anyone share how you overcome that? How do you explain to your fellow members that MUDA does not have an age bracket?
Well,
Jeevan?
yeah. First of all, I am constantly having this being thrown to me. In fact, among my close friends circle itself, they say, "Oh, it's really good and everything, but bro, I'm not, young enough to join MUDA." So I said, "Do you know what does it stand for?" First of all, you must understand that MUDA is an abbreviation. It does not denote anything in particular. Right? Like I said, the age bracket does not exist in MUDA. We don't have a youth wing in our party. We don't have the senior team, which is going to be dictating what the rest to be doing. Everybody is the same, equal. They are on the level in this part. Now, you must understand that for any change, when it happens, the new dawn is a young dawn. So that is also the way that I look into it. It's a brand new day. It's a young day. It's MUDA. So that is the only thing that I feel that you should always lock in on what is being MUDA. I always explain to them, MUDA is actually Malaysian United Democratic Alliance. It does not define MUDA or TUA in any way, right? So I always give them an example. I'm 40. So I'm at an age where I'm neither here nor there according to the general public, but it's never too late to be part of something to be the change, right? So the idea is, okay, you are TUA enough to say that you are not MUDA enough to join here, but what have you done all this while? You have always been at the back, the sidelines, heckling, oh, the politicians are like this, there's nothing, but when are you going to come and do the change? You see? So this is one argument or even discussion that I always face. In fact, whenever we put out something, people say, "Oh, you are too old to be in politics." What do you mean we are too old in politics? We have people who are hitting the 8 series, 9 series, still aspiring to
run the
country and everything. We have been seeing the same faces. I think throughout my life, I have been seeing some faces still there and still saying that they will bring change, this and that. They have not done anything. And even if they did, they could not even sustain it. Right? So it is time that we actually look past the literal meaning of MUDA and to see what it actually means. So before anybody makes the comment, I'll always send them the link, muda.my. Log in, go online, see what it really means. Alright? Yes, a lot of youngsters are coming and joining MUDA because of the person who's spearheading MUDA is known as one of the youngest ministers this country ever had, right? He is an inspiration and it will always be. But then again, I'm pretty sure there's a side Sadiq in each and every one of those Malaysians.
Yes.
Right? So we all should actually, for those of you who have not been part of this, you should actually go and read up on MUDA or contact us. We are more than happy to explain to you what MUDA is all about. So it is not about age. Please, people, don't mistake us. I think Toby agrees with me as well.
So yeah. Oh, Toby, would you like to say something, Toby? Okay. So another question I would like to pose to you guys. This is something which I know that apart from some of us, there are really young members in MUDA. So this question is particularly for Melanie. Melanie, I believe you're still a student, law student, and I don't want to ask your age.
But we are not supposed to mention the age.
Too bad.
No age discrimination.
I'm not going to ask you your age, But how is your parents accepting MUDA?
That's an interesting one. Obviously, being a student and also juggling this, I would say, job, it's not easy. But at the same time, I think my parents understand that I'm fighting for a change for Malaysia and that this is my passion and I am doing what's right. So I feel like they didn't really reject the idea of me coming into MUDA, working for MUDA, and they're really supportive because I believe that they also feel that MUDA can be a part of change and that me, even though I'm just a student, I can still make a change and put in as much effort I can and help this political party to grow. Yeah.
Yeah. And the next question will be to Sheryl. Sheryl,
Just to cut in. I think people should understand when so-called political stalwarts that who are, been there for ages, they all actually got into politics in their young age.
Yeah.
Right? During their university days, during their college days and everything. Really young they came in and this is where they are. So I feel that, again, age should not be a matter. There's no age for us to be involved in politics. Of course, it should not affect our studies and whatnot. So I think parents should encourage.
No, but why I asked this question itself is because we have more than about 40,000 members at the moment, and most of them 70,000 members, and most of them are young. And I'm really grateful that parents of these members are very accepting towards MUDA, who has encouraged them to join MUDA to be the catalyst for a change, which will start off in Johor, I believe. So with that, we would like to end today's session. I would like to ask Sheryl. Oh yeah. So we're not going to end, huh? We're not going to end. Okay, this is another question, very interesting question. We have a student. I myself a father, I believe Jeevan is also a father.
Yeah.
But we have Sheryl here who has a 2-year-old child. 5-year-old.
4-year-old.
4-year-old child. Adam, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Sheryl, how are you juggling this?
To be fair, I do feel a bit of mom guilt
Okay.
when it comes to, like for example, I know he has school today, I'm supposed to be picking him up, but I'm not because I'm here. But that being said, I hope eventually he will remember that when change happens, that his mom was a part of it.
Yes.
So I'm hoping and I'm working on that. Oh my gosh, this is gonna. I'm gonna go on that path and basically focus on the fact that one day Adam will be proud to see his mom paving the way of change, rather than just sitting back and I could be sitting at home, being with him, right? But then he has to see, and I hope he sees one day that, it's not easy, but at the same time, necessary in this day and age.
And you will be proud of it for being part of the change.
Yeah, I hope so too.
It seems nobody asked me. One of the biggest inspirations I had towards MUDA, I was also involved with other political parties before, but I always felt an outsider, okay? Because most of them have race-based politics, okay? MUDA gave me a platform to be equal. There is no such thing as you're a Malay, Indian, Chinese, we are all equal here. And I think that was one of the biggest inspirations for me. And also to look past certain things, whether you are a woman or you're a man, you are equal. With that said, you guys, do you have anything else you want to share today?
I think I also like the fact how women and men are seen equally in our party, right? Actually, a lot of those positions in every JK is filled by a lot of women, and I think a lot of them have a 50-50 equation. So that itself is a very big start for the country, and hopefully we can see more women ministers in the parliament in time to come. So I think this is the start. It's not the end, and we will continue to strive to ensure that we achieve that.
I do want to add on that my husband and I are both in MUDA as well. So it is not, and to be fair, when I joined MUDA, I was not interested in politics. But as I went on, I realized it's more than just about all the dirt that it's been ingrained, right? That politics has to be dirty, has to be, you attacking someone and like corruption and stuff like that. But that's why we are here, right? So, and that's, I'm hoping that this would become a thing, for women, for men, for every race for that matter. I mean, look at this table. We have so many of us of different races,
And gender, and also
Different
species, not human. Yeah, so I find it, and we've become like we started off as colleagues, right? But we've spent so much time together that we're now like family.
Yeah.
So I find that amazing. I mean, let's be very honest. You go out there, you ask any of these political parties who is your so and so, they probably don't even know.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So let's just enjoy what we have here and let's pave the way for a better Malaysia.
And let's save Malaysia, most importantly.
Save Malaysia.
Yes,
So-
be involved.
Be involved, join us.
Join us, because as you can see, particularly to certain marginalized community, I must tell you this, right? Don't be afraid to be part of something. It is your participation will ensure that more and more things are being spoken out, being fought for you. So you have to be part of a movement that will ensure that everybody is treated equal, everybody is given the same opportunity. There is no point for us to scream and shout from the sidelines. Come to the center, be in the thick of things, and fight for it together with the rest of us here, like how we are doing it for you.
If not now, then when?
Yeah.
So join us at muda.my. Okay guys, that comes to the end of our session today. So we will be broadcast on YouTube and Spotify. So comment if you have any questions you would like to ask on our next session, and we'll be able to answer those questions for you guys. Okay, with that, thank you Jeevan, thank you Sheryl, thank you Manisha and Melanie. Goodbye guys.
Bye.
Goodbye.